Welcome to another Triathlon podcast, the podcast that brings the electrifying world of triathlons right into your headphones. Journey into captivating conversations, share the excitement of race recaps, enjoy the humor only a triathlete would understand, and join us as we debunk myths and bring you the bare, thrilling truths of the triathlon world. So feel your heart pound, breathe in anticipation, and get ready to dive into the world of triathlon. This is another Triathlon podcast. Enjoy the ride.
We are back with another Triathlon podcast, and we got the whole crew. Thank you so much to the guys for taking over while I was away. If you haven't checked it out already, they did an awesome interview with Caroline, also known as LA Triathlete. So go check out that episode. But this week, we are going to dive into all of the racing. The season is kicking off for real now. We got the T100, we got WTCS series, we got races going on all over the place. And of course, our usual What the F and social media post of the week. But let's roll into it. There's been a few developments on the personal training side as well. We are going to jump off with Tadej. Tadej, what's going on? Why are you, why should you be wrapped in bubble wrap at the moment?
Hey guys, good to be here and good to hear you, Jenna. No, I should be wrapped in bubble wrap right now because I was training for Ironman Texas and our annual Mona camp, and I went off to a little trail run just outside the city. I had my headphones on, everything. And it was a bit slippery. I slipped, fell, hit a rock very hard with my foot, heard something crack, and little did I know it was a couple of bones that were, broken. Couldn't walk really. I had to roll myself down the hill or crawl back down. It was just very painful. Went to the doctor. He said the worst news that I could possibly think about. It was there's definitely something broken. Go get a scan, see what it is. And yeah, it's my pinky and another little bone on top of it. So I'm on a boot right now. Can't really run. I can ride, but I need to figure a way to clip in with a moon boot. Of course, I can't swim right now, which is a shame because we all know how I love swimming. But yeah, no, I'm in good spirits, wanting to get back to it. And of course, timing is a bit not on my side right now for Texas. If I'm able to start training, quote unquote, normal again, it would be 3 weeks out from the race, and that would be a stretch. But still on the fence on that. Don't know if I should write an email to Ironman and tell them what happened. Send them the information they need to postpone it or defer it to or change another race. But yeah, I had incredible FOMO watching the stories and all the pictures. Every time I opened up my phone and opened Instagram, I was like, please, I really hope this Costa Rica trip is horrible, but no.
I don't blame you. That's so hard, especially with everyone posting them all the time, and you're just in that low point. That timing is just brutal because it's on the cusp of, yes, you could come back and do an Ironman. There's no question there. But I know you had high expectations for that race and qualifying for Kona. That makes it a lot tougher, which is not to say it's not possible in there. Just hit up a reverse taper and see what you can do. But it's tough when it's kind of unknown when you'll be back to training at 100% and nothing hurting. And we're
exactly.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, thank you guys, and everybody's been very supportive, and I've been keeping it in the down low because I don't want to bring too much attention to myself. Just grinding it out, doing the work that I need to get back to it. Then we'll see what happens. But yeah, what about you guys? I hope you guys haven't broken anything.
Well, now everyone knows Tadej, so there's no more down low. Now it's about the comeback story.
There you go.
I almost joined you. I had to do my track workout. So I went and retested my run testing that I had done out in Arizona. And the protocol was like 2 20-second sprints with a whole bunch of time in between, and literally like a 2-minute standing still downtime, like GPS on the watch. When you enter it into the software, it knows if you move too much and heart rate too much. So dead stop. So the first sprint, great. Second sprint, after like 12 minutes of jogging and 2 minutes of standing still in 40-degree Fahrenheit weather on a track, didn't go so well. And probably 13 seconds into that sprint, I felt a pop in my hamstring. And I think I pulled up quick enough and was able to jog it out. And then I had a 3-minute run, a 6-minute run, and a 12-minute all out with like 15 minutes in between each. And was able to get through all of them. And actually my splits got better from the 3 to the 6 to the 12, which is not supposed to happen. So what I did is I got through that whole week of running. I'm at like 12 days straight of running, which I've never done before. And I think that volume at some fat max levels with a little bit of intensity has helped. And I just said no more strides, no more sprinting, and just kind of straight into being warm and going at some harder race pace stuff. So it's been really good. Thankfully got through that scare and went back out and did my 3-minute test again and was able to crush it the other night. Cold temperatures, but warmed up and went right into the 3-minute. And it was like a minute and probably it was like 120 meters difference from what it was at the same time. So, but man, that's what got me thinking about the bubble wrap stuff. It's like how close it was to all that work over the winter being done for Oceanside. And I don't know, somebody was looking out for me. I got lucky that day for sure, because it was there. I could feel it, and I felt it, but it's recovered quickly, thankfully.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it wasn't anything long-term that's kind of derailing your plans there. There's nothing worse than when you like feel that kind of tinge of that pop. You're just like, oh, is this a thing? Is this something that'll go away, or is this something we're gonna have to deal with?
Yeah.
Not fun, but training has been great. And finally coming out of all of that aerobic base work, it's paid off, and I've been able to throw in some hours that I've never done training wise. I think I went over 14-15 hours of like just straight training, not talking about anything else. This past week, I've had 2 weeks in a row of 34 miles running. And for me, those are just different levels, and hitting the pool 2 or 3 times at least a week, and 2 days in a row now. So it's Oceanside is going to be a lot of fun. We're just confidence level getting in the water, especially in my new mono wetsuit, and can't wait to throw that on and look good, swim good, and then get on the bike and just I've been biking 3.5, 4 hours on Zwift. We had an awesome team Zwift ride on Saturday morning while you guys were all riding around Costa Rica. We were all on Zwift together, so it's been really fun training, and I've got a little half marathon in 2 weeks just to test out the road.
That's nice. Good. So what's the countdown to Oceanside? How many weeks to go?
We are 4.5 weeks. So April 6th.
Yeah. And how about you, Fede? What's the countdown to Texas? Is it like 6 weeks or something?
It's 8 weeks.
8 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting into those race seasons. It's coming up fast. And Oceanside, actually both races should be really fun to watch with the Ironman Pro Series this year. They're both going to be absolutely stacked on the pro side. So that is always fun to see them going by and seeing how the race is going down while you're out there suffering too. Just remember that however much you're hurting, they're probably hurting a little bit more.
True.
Clearly the message is take it easy when you're not doing anything triathlon specific, or just dial in your training to be a little bit more careful.
The more you're always on that like razor edge of just the wrong movement in the wrong direction can just tweak you. And as we get older too, that doesn't get any better.
46 in that temperature, dead cold into an all-out sprint. Yeah, probably not.
Not great. Well, I'm glad it wasn't anything more serious. And it sounds like you're definitely putting in some serious volume in training for Oceanside. It'll be fun to see how much faster you go than previous year. See what those gains have been over the year. I have a feeling they'll be pretty solid.
I think so. we'll see. New bike, new everything. So we're ready to go.
Yeah, I saw the bike picture too. That's exciting.
Yeah. The bike is all set up, so we should be good to pick that up and bring it home and have some fun. I'll get it outside a couple times. We actually just got warm here in Massachusetts too, so it was like 60 degrees this weekend. So I should be able to get on and get outside and ride. But yeah, it's been fun. How about the warmth in Costa Rica though, where you just were? That trail running looked a little hot.
It was slightly warmer in Costa Rica than here. And I got back at like 1:30 in the morning yesterday, and it's minus 25. And I was just like, oh, this is a shock to the system here. But if anyone hasn't heard or hasn't been on my Instagram or stories or anyone associated with Mana, we had our Mana training camp over in Costa Rica this past week. And I was there from Monday to Sunday, and the camp kind of ran from Wednesday to Sunday. And it was such a blast going over there and just training in a new location, somewhere warm. And this camp was a little different because usually we go to areas that we know pretty well, have pretty planned out. We've done like Cozumel is a big one. Everyone trains there. They've done camps in Tucson, get-togethers in St. George and stuff. But this was kind of a new location for all of us. And we got a little screwed by a 3-kilometer stretch of road. Like 3 kilometers, totally made it a little bit more challenging at this. We were at this beautiful location, a resort area that had a pool with lane lines and stuff that we could take over and do some training there. We're right on the water, so we did lots of ocean water swims. What we didn't realize was that to get out to the roads where it's like moderate and realistic to ride, there were 2 climbs at like 20+% up and down on some very sketchy roads. So, yeah, we were under the impression we could just ride from the hotel. And while technically that's true, most people are not quite comfortable on those kind of roads. And anyone with rim brakes in that kind of heat would not make it down those descents. So, yeah, we had to change around a few things last minute and ended up renting some vans so we can shuttle people over. And it was just one of those funny things where you got to kind of laugh and shake your head like it's 3 kilometers, like 2 miles, where everything else was great to ride from there. So we had a little bit of a logistical dance, and I got to drive a massive van an hour away to the camp over some washed out roads and some very loose road rules. That was quite the adventure. But no, it all went really, really well. We were right outside some stunning trails, like steps away from the beach, which led to some absolutely incredible trails. And it was really fun to see so many athletes out there just challenging themselves, going outside their comfort zone. We had such a wide range of athletes, from one athlete had never ridden their bike outside before, like their tri bike, to people have never done ocean water swims, all the way up to like world championship qualifiers and winners and stuff. So it was just really cool to see such a wide range of ability levels. Everyone was supporting each other, cheering each other on, pushing each other. And it was really great because we had 6 coaches out there, so we could kind of accommodate all the different levels of athletes. And really, it was just so much fun to cruise around. And there'll be some more pictures soon. We're waiting on the pictures back. But we got the best team camp kit. You guys will see it out there. But it's all like, it looks like a Hawaiian shirt with a bunch of toucans on it. And it is so much fun. We got some of the funniest looks with like 35 athletes cruising down the roads in Costa Rica in matching like toucan shirts.
I was wondering what the commentary from the side of the road was on that.
Oh my goodness. And especially like riding by on like road bikes, because it's known as a very popular place for mountain biking, just because like there's seriously wicked trails there. And they used to have kind of like an off-road paddle mountain bike run kind of race and stuff. So people aren't used to seeing like race road bikes, never mind tri bikes, and then we're all wearing like Hawaiian style jerseys with toucans all over it. So we got a few curious looks, we'll say that for sure. But yeah, people are so friendly there. It was absolutely stunning. Like, it was really incredible. And I got to see a bunch of monkeys. I've never seen a monkey in like real life outside of a zoo. So that was really cool.
It's a really cool area. I was there a couple of summers ago on like our annual vacation with my wife and I. And it's really cool because you like you said, you got to go down to the beach level but the road up out of it is is difficult depending on what resort you're at. But once you're down there, there's horses riding on the beach. It's unbelievable. But the monkeys at breakfast time or anything like that are up in the trees and screaming and howling, and then the birds are diving. It's a really cool area.
Oh, man, it's the birds. There was this group of birds that every morning would start losing their minds at 5 a.m.
Yep.
Like, why? What? Oh, and oh my goodness, I was the luckiest person in the world. I should have gone and bought a lottery ticket. Unfortunately, I got an ear infection the day before I was supposed to head out to camp, so I couldn't swim for the week, which, I mean,
I was wondering if that was by choice. Come on.
The open water, so because it was so pretty, like this view and stuff, the open water swimming, I was bummed to miss out on a bit, to be fair. But yeah, so anyway, so I was providing kayak support because we were doing some open water swims. It was nice. They had a couple buoys out there, and then they had an island that was like 2,500 meters to go out, swim around the island and come back, which was perfect. So yeah, I was providing kayak support. The first little bit, it was kind of the newbies going in and out. And then I was pedaling back to see there were like 3 islands. So I just wanted to check which island the other group was around. So I'd go kayak out there to see if they needed any help, right? So coming in, and then just at the wrong time had this big breaker like come up behind me, tossed me out of the kayak, go flipping over kind of thing. But I had my phone, my sunglasses, everything with me in there because I've done a ton of kayaking on lakes and rivers and oceans and never had a problem. But this one time, so ended up losing my phone in the water and my sunglasses and my shirt. I was just like, you have to be kidding me here, right?
Oh no.
So, and especially like travel these days is so like having your phone is almost key. So I'm just like there's no way I'm going to find my phone in this ocean kind of thing. But one of our teammates, everyone, when they saw me go over, everyone like ran in, helped me up and stuff, and then started looking for my phone. And one athlete came across my phone, half buried in the sand under the water, and grabbed it for me. And surprisingly, it worked just fine after that. So I got so lucky on that one. Someone else found my sunglasses in the water too. Like I just, yeah, did not see that happening. I was pretty sure it was gone, and that was going to be fun to try to navigate and drive back with no maps.
That's amazing. That is for sure lottery ticket territory.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, stay tuned to all the Mana accounts. There's going to be more pictures coming. We have our amazing Mana Studios photographer, videographer, Guille was out there taking a bunch of pictures and providing support on course too. So the cool thing with these camps, we always have like a chase vehicle and support out on the road, handing out water and gels and all that stuff. And Morton and Salt Sticks just gave us all of the nutrition we could ever need and more. And actually, it was the first time I've really tried Morton products, really, and absolutely loved them. Running in the heat, my stomach was happy, so I ended up getting a bunch and taking them home with me. So might be posting more about those. But yeah, it was just so fun. These camps are so good for getting fired up about triathlon because you just see all different ability levels. Everyone's super supportive and cheering each other on regardless of what they're doing and what they're racing. And it was fun just to geek out on for the week entirely. And I won because I did the whole week. No sunburns. I made it through. That is winning my books.
That might be the most impressive thing of the whole weekend.
Pretty much. SPF 50 4 times a day. I'm pretty sure I'm still sweating sunscreen.
I just got a whole bunch of Zelios delivered for my race season. So
yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. I just stocked up on that before I left. All the shampoo, conditioner, body wash, sunscreen. I went through a lot of it. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Check it out. Like I said, we'll be posting a lot more as we get more and more of the pictures back, but it's just such a cool experience. And I am
feeling it's a huge difference too. Like we all do so much training on our own. And if you have like a buddy or two to go to the pool with or run with, you're doing a lot of it on your own or with very small groups. And to be able to be on a team that you actually get together with and do something like that, just that aspect of it alone, just like you forget that you hate this training and you're going hard. And it's like, oh, we have a 60-mile ride today. Okay, whatever. Let's go hang out with 35 people.
Has become so much faster. So good.
Yeah. Also, adding to that, Josh, for our listeners, just make sure if you go out riding with your friends and all of that, right nowadays, there's a lot of social media flexing, a lot of people saying, I can do this, I ride this power, I ride these paces. There's nothing like going out with a bunch of people and then knowing they were lying. But the good thing about this is, I mean, I might be a bit biased here, but everybody in the Mono community, we don't flex our numbers. We just go out there for the sake of training and racing and having fun. It's not like, you know, probably you're gonna laugh, but we've all seen this person that goes out at a 3:30 per kilometer pace and then calls it a zone one recovery run, and then all of a sudden they're running an 8 minute per kilometer during an Ironman. So yeah, just don't believe everything you see, but know that we do talk the talk and walk the walk, and it's not about how fast you train; it's about how fast you go on race day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, luckily there weren't a lot of half-wheeling heroes out there trying to flex on everyone. Everyone was really good at just hanging out and staying together and stuff, and it was really, really nice to see. We missed you like crazy, Fede.
Oh yeah,
couldn't make it out there.
I was constantly chatting with Gu and Philip. They were very good asking me how I was doing and how I felt, and they were sending me pictures, and I was like, just stop with the pictures, please.
Maybe I don't want to see what's going on here.
Maybe ask me how I'm feeling, but you don't need to rub it in my face.
It's not like you weren't seeing the pictures on Instagram anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, true.
Kind of spamming everyone.
Everyone sharing, everyone tagging everyone. It's like, all right, there's the same picture 30 times. Thanks, I get it.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
Well, we will let you guys know when the next camp comes up. The camps are always open to Mono athletes and everyone else as well. You don't have to be a member to join us. So it's always fun to get out there. But let's talk about some people who are going, once again, slightly faster than we do out there in training and racing. We had a bit of racing go on this weekend. Fede, what's been happening?
Yeah, we did have a bit of racing. So the first Ironman on the calendar, Ironman New Zealand, which is one of my favorites, happened over the weekend. And this race is the only race besides Kona that does a swim mass start. So that's pretty cool that they kept it this way. And I love mass starts. It just looks cool. It's very, I don't know. I think rolling starts are a bit anticlimactic with, everybody's ready to race and then they go out in groups of threes with the beep. It's not as exciting as this massive wave of people running towards the beach and splashing everywhere. But yeah, Ironman New Zealand happened. We're starting to see people, pro athletes choosing the Ironman Pro Series rather than a single Ironman race. And this is the likes of Hannah Wells. She's a very well-established Kiwi triathlete. And she is racing Ironman Texas rather than Ironman New Zealand, just because Ironman Texas is not part of the pro circuit that is going around. And I think we're going to start to see a lot of athletes doing this. Another athlete on the pro side, Braden Curry, who has won this race before, he wanted to do the double, Ironman New Zealand, and then 8 weeks later, Ironman Texas. Unfortunately, he was out of the race due to a little illness, so he couldn't race on Saturday. But I think we're gonna start to see different fields, not weaker or stronger, just different fields and different names popping out on the single race events rather than on the circuit. And speaking about the race, on the girls' side, we had defending champion Els Visser. Then we had, the likes of Chelsea Sodaro, Kona champion. She wanted to, get an early Ironman race in. We had Amelia Watkinson, Laura Siddle, Meredith Kessler, Jocelyn McCauley. And the win, it was a very, very, I don't want to say easy because an Ironman is not easy, but we just saw the domination from Chelsea. She won in 8:40, and she was 17 minutes faster than Els. And Els is an incredibly strong rider, and she couldn't make up time on Chelsea and Jocelyn, who were riding up front, taking turns legally. And it was a very honest race. And it was so cool to see Chelsea run a 2:49:59 marathon. She was the only one running sub 3. But yeah, we're just world class, and she is showing right now early signs that she's going to be a force to be reckoned with come Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just dominating. It was very, very cool to see.
It
Yeah.
seemed like she had to back. I mean, not seemed like she had to. She definitely backed off on the run too. Like I think she was going to come in with the fastest marathon of the entire Ironman, man or female. She's trying to realize, all right, my splits are not dropping, so I might as well back it off a little. They win by 17 instead of 21 or 20 minutes because I mean, she was on pace for an even faster marathon. Only 5-10K left.
Yeah, she looks strong all the way through, and you can see the energy levels of these athletes when they cross the finish line. She jumped and hugged her husband. She immediately grabbed her baby. So she had a lot left in the tank. Very impressive performance on Chelsea, and congratulations to her and her team. Dan Plus and everyone out there. Over the men's side, we had the Braden, who didn't start the race. He was a big favorite, but we had the likes of Steve McKenna from Australia, Ben Hamilton, Mike Phillips, just to name a few. And we had a very, very different race on the men's side. This was going down to the wire, especially in the third and fourth place. Steve McKenna switched positions a couple times during the run with the second place finisher, who was Nick Heldron from the Netherlands. Steve took the win, and he did his famous robot dance at the finish line. That was pretty cool to see. And the days leading up, he did a takeover for Ironman, and it just amazing to see this Kiwi Australian, sense of humor, just being sarcastic and not taking himself very seriously. But when it came to race day, he executed the perfect race, and he finished in 8:01. So no sub 8s on this race. The swim was a bit choppy, made things a bit hard, and word on the street is that there was a bit of a headwind on the bike, so of course that made for a slower bike split. Mike Phillips from New Zealand took the charge on the bike, was out of sight, out of mind from everyone. And this, for the listeners, third place finisher, Ben Hamilton, he was an age grouper last year. He took his pro card to start this season, and he finished third. He knew he didn't have the bike power to keep up with Mike. He rode his own race, kept his cool, stick to his plan, and it just goes to show that just stick to your numbers, execute the race and the result you're going to get is going to be even better than being all anxious and going and chasing everyone. So that was an amazing performance for a former age grouper, now turned professional, running a 2:47 marathon. And Steve was at 2:43, so 2 minutes 30 seconds faster than second place. But it was an amazing race to see, and just a great start of the season. We also had 70.3 Uruguay in Punta del Este, and we had our Mona, our Mona athlete, Federico's Scravino from
Uruguay.
From Uruguay, actually, yeah. And he took the win. He took the win in 3:58, running a 1:19, biking a 2:09, and swimming in 24 minutes. Just an impressive performance. The next guy from Argentina, Emanuel Iodice, came in 4:04. But it was just an amazing race, and it was awesome to see him. Yeah, Yeah, the mono triceps are fast, and I was just gonna say it looked amazing on the out on course, just rocking the mono kid. That was very cool to see.
I loved his finish line shoot celebrations too. He's like, all right, I can see the finish line, but I'm going to slap five and high five every fan on the way down the way. And it was really cool to see celebration like that in his home country and just really give back to all the fans that were there.
Yeah, yeah, it's always cool to see a local get the victory because the crowd just go nuts.
No, that's awesome. Definitely always fun to see that energy and enthusiasm. And like I said, we always like to see the Mono kids up there because we've been doing a whole lot of testing to make sure they are absolutely the fastest ones, for sure.
Yes, we have.
Wicked. Yeah, definitely some fun racing this weekend, but the big stuff is coming up. We are getting into all the races that we've been talking about and speculating about forever next weekend. A couple of them kick off, but first, let's jump into kind of our fun stuff for the week. We'll start off with Josh. What's our social media post of the week? There were a few to choose from, to be honest.
Definitely a little difficult to choose from, but I think the front runner came out today and blitzed the social media world with whether we thought we had to check our calendars for sure if it was April Fool's or not.
Right.
But it's still early March, but you got to check out the Team Visma Lease Bike social media page.
Jesus.
And their new TT Aero helmets.
Oh my goodness.
If you've ever seen Spaceball, you might recognize just in a different color. But yeah, Jonas is looking fast. And he was fast this weekend too, by the way. We'll probably touch on that. And Fede will talk about some of the numbers he pushed on his win. But man, yeah, this is definitely an interesting helmet. We'll make sure.
It is crazy. I saw one really one good meme of it. Someone imposed the like the yellow M&M on top of the helmet because it's so like it's big enough that you'd have like its face on there.
It looks. I shared one where it was the helmet was the entire body.
Yeah, exactly. It is so crazy to see. Like I guess anything for those aero gains. I wonder how long it is before UCI says, no, that's outside of our regulations or standards. If they're knock length, then there's no way this thing lasts more than a few races.
Yeah. It's like the dropper on the seat story all over again. I'm sure it's fast. I'm sure it saves a ton of watts, or like who knows, maybe it's marginal. If it's a marginal gain, just stop it. Don't. The only reason I would justify it is if it would save you, I don't know, 30 watts. But I don't see that. I don't see it that way. And it looks ridiculous. I don't know. But I'm sure, guys, in Kona, we're going to see, and in Nice, we are going to see at least 10 athletes wearing that helmet.
And you know what's even better? They're going to combine it with the water bladder down the front of their tri-suit for massive aero gains. Those are going to be so interesting.
And the Joe Skipper front end with like the 17 water bottles in front.
Oh my God. We're starting to get into the realm of ridiculous. So
this is why everybody hates us.
But it's not us this time. It's cyclists.
True.
Ones doing all the crazy stuff. But for once, it's the cyclists that look more ridiculous than the triathletes, which is saying something.
All about those time trials during the Grand Tours.
I mean, when you have a Jonas Vingegaard on form and just destroy everyone by minutes anyway, I don't care how many Euro helmets you have out there, but man, I'm curious to see it. Like, we should start like a countdown clock for how long it lasts, because I cannot imagine the UCI letting that be a thing. Oh man. But yeah, we're definitely heating up with the cycling, the bike racing again, which is awesome to see. But let's jump into our What the F of the Week. This one I had a hard time choosing. There have definitely been a few things, and I wanted to bring up some other piece of news outside of that because there's so much going on. But What the F of the Week goes back to social media, a picture of Jan Frodeno holding up some plane tickets for the T100 race next weekend. I think that gave everyone a pause for a second. Some people's hopes were just up there. Think is Jan going to come back and race again? Are we going to have an old school Ali versus Javier Gomez versus Jan race down the T100 in Miami? Nope. Unfortunately, the what the F is that he is going to be there commentating instead of racing, which he is absolutely an incredible addition to the commentary team because he knows these athletes, he knows the sport. But it would have been very cool if he was going to hop out and just go race it instead. So what the F, Jan Frodeno teasing us all, making us think, giving us hope that there would be an epic showdown. But he will be there commentating, which will be, like I said, a really great addition to the team there.
This weekend's going to be awesome. It's and to add him to the team. And we found out when we interviewed Bob Babbitt that he's going to be there doing interviews. So I've been watching some of the YouTube shorts on like Jason West and Annie Hogg. And I mean, like the promotion for that event is just heating up and it's really exciting to get ready for it.
It is very cool. But one other thing I wanted to mention before we do jump into breaking down the racing this weekend is we also saw another post that could have been the What the F as well, with Daniela Reef announcing her retirement here at the end of the year. She is calling it a career, and it has been quite the career already, no matter how this year goes for her. It's sad to see her go because she has been such an incredible inspiration in the sport. She pushed the women to get better and stronger and more competitive through some of the insane performances she did coming from, ITU. She was at the Olympics. She had some decent results, but she came into Ironman and absolutely pushed it to another level. So it'll be sad to see her go, but she has definitely been an inspiration to many.
Absolutely. It's fair to say that she's the queen of Kona.
Oh,
I mean, there's no one that comes near her.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy. For a couple years ago, like you could not bet against her no matter what. She was just going to win. The last couple years, it's been a little bit more up and down, but it would be a fairy tale ending to see her take the win and call it a career on a high because, like I said, she's done so many good things for the sport.
We're getting good at these retirement tour seasons.
I know.
From the GOATs, too, which is kind of crazy.
I know. It's just, it's good and bad knowing that it's coming to an end. So it's not a surprise of, oh, that was their last race. Okay. But putting some intention behind it. But it's still, it's sad to see it end because they're so fun to watch race when you're taking it at that level.
Yeah. Speaking about GOATs, Eliud Kipchoge finished 11th at the Tokyo Marathon. So are we starting to see the decline of Eliud, or was this just a bad race? What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
In a row, right? Those are two majors in a row where he's kind of faded. And he quickly reached out and said, this is sport and you're going to have bad days and good days. But he's been having a few more bad days than he's had good days recently. So I might be there with you, Fetty. I mean, let's see what he does at Boston if he comes here. Let's see what he does in New York or Chicago. But I mean, his major run is starting to dwindle, or maybe Berlin. I mean, he's always run well there. So
it'll be interesting to see over the next few races here, see where that goes, and maybe there's a new wave coming through, which is definitely something that we've seen in the triathlon world recently. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it. I am so excited. These races have been a long time coming, but how about we start with the T100 series, because these races over the next little while are going to be absolutely insane. First, let's start with the start list first, and then there's a little bit of controversy between social media and actually some federation involvement. So we'll chat through some of that, but let's get started with the start list. This weekend, we're going to have the men's race on March 9th, starting at 1 p.m. local time, and then the women's race March 9th at 4:50 local time. So we will be jumping into some racing. Okay, the women's side. So with this race, there are actually quite a few wild cards out there. I think people are kind of easing into the season. It's going to be a long season with a lot of racing, and a few people are just going to kind of sit back and see what's going on, or do the route like Chelsea Sodaro, get that Ironman qualification. I think that's what a lot of the athletes are doing, is just getting their Ironman ratification if they do want to race the World Championships early season, and then jumping into the PTO. But for this race, we've got World ranked number 1, Annie Haug. We got Lucy Charles Barclay, Kat Matthews, Paula Finley, Daniela Reith, Imogen Simmons, Emma Pallant-Brown, Guy Munch, Tamara Jewett, India Lee, Holly Lawrence, Lucy Byram, Sarah Perez-Sala, Haley Chura, Lucy Buckingham, Jackie Herring, Kaida Kavocha. Oh, I butchered that one. Didi Derricks, Marta Sanchez, and Jodie Stimpson. Okay, as you can tell, a couple names I don't recognize in there, but it looks like they were, just trying to fill some spots with the wild card. So let's chat about the women's first then, and then we'll jump into the men's. The top end is very, very competitive. I'm curious to see how this goes down. What do you guys think?
So I think what I've heard and listened to some of the top pros talk about early season, especially if they're not, it all depends on where they're coming from too. So I think you're seeing some of the top females that aren't coming to Miami that will back end their schedule because they don't want to have to travel from Australia or New Zealand or far away when they know you've got some of those Middle East events towards the end of the year that they can get to a little easier. Once you get to Miami and then you got all this travel, they're saving their 5 races for later in the season and getting specific training done at home, I think is kind of what we're seeing. But then you've got the Paula Finleys and the Lucys of the world that are like, let's go and let's get going in Miami. And a lot of people have been to Miami and raced in Miami or done even like the Clash Endurance event. So they're kind of used to that weather and that atmosphere. So it's going to be interesting. I'm super excited just to see that level of racing. And we're going to deal with the wild card stuff throughout the season because you only have to race 5, right? And the Olympic people, it's only 4, whatever it may be. And then you got the wild cards and the Taylor Spivies of the world on the hot shot list. And so it's going to be interesting to see who gets picked each time. I know there was a big Mark Dubrick push and a lot of other guys that they were pushing on the men's side to make this. So I'm excited. I think it'll be a good test to see where people's training is at this point and how much they do go after this first race or are they building for that season type atmosphere that the PTO and T100 is after.
Yeah. How about you, Fede? What do you think?
No, I agree with you guys. And I think we're going to start to see a bit more of the ITU or now WTCS type of dynamics in terms of racing. I think races are going to be a bit more tactical with this T100 races. We might see some unusual winners, but that's not to say that the girls or the guys that are usually on top played smart. And I think we're going to start to see a couple of athletes making decisions of, okay, I'm aiming for a top 5. Do I need to push for the victory or do I just need to be consistent throughout the whole series? And I think this is good for, wild cards and up and coming athletes. They're going to be able to showcase their fitness and their ability. But for the main guys, the guys that have big contracts with the T100, I think we're going to start to see them playing it a bit more safe. So there's going to be a lot of looking around, who's with me in the run, how many minutes do I have on, I don't know, Paula, if I'm Lucy, or Kat Matthews, if I'm Ashley, these type of situations and would have scenarios. So it's definitely going to be interesting. And I read this morning that we have the first no-show in Miami. Unfortunately, Imogen Simmons is out of the race. I don't know why, but
similar to you. She rolled her ankle on a trail run.
Okay. I feel your pain. Imogen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer to see. And I'm kind of bummed that we're gonna have to wait to see the Lucy Charles and Ashley Gentle battling it out. I'm really curious to see how that goes down because Ashley Gentle has just been so dominant in these races. I'm curious to see how it goes there, but she's definitely not going to be lacking in competition. I mean, so that you have going over there, we've seen less results from some of these other athletes at the T100 distance, but some
Yep.
absolutely Ironman powerhouses. It's just, it's going to be so good to see. I can't even, the dynamics could play out in so many different ways here. It's so awesome.
It definitely seems like the T100 athletes are very focused on the T100 tour. And even some of them are like, I don't know if I'm doing 70.3 worlds. Like they don't know. And it's not on there. Like even Christian's like, I don't know if I'm going to do 70.3 worlds. And he's coming, I mean, his focus is Olympics and Kona. Like he's on the opposite side of the spectrum. But it seems like more so now than ever, there is a clear line in what races people are going to be doing and why they're doing it.
Yeah. That being said, though, on the men's side, we're seeing some pushes in the other direction. That's kind of disappointing. I guess not disappointing, but there have been a surprising number of athletes with the men going to Kona this year. Obviously, Kona is just so massive.
Yeah.
More coming out with social media posts saying, hey, I'm doing the T100 series, but my focus is Kona. And that, I'll be honest, it's making me a little less excited to watch it as more and more of those come up, because now you're like, okay, are these guys just going to roll around for the contract? Because they're getting paid a lot of, most of them like 6 figures to go show up to the races. I'm just surprised that they're allowed to come out with those contracts saying, I'm just doing it as part of my season, but Kona's the goal.
Like Sam Laidlaw is like,
Sam Laidlaw said it. Someone else just said it here too. Is it Leon Chevalier? It was someone else just came out saying the same thing. Like Kona's absolutely the goal. I'm going to use the T100 series as a training day. And it's like, you would think that'd be something in the contracts where they're being paid to kind of show up for it. But it makes me less excited because it's like, okay, how many of them are doing that but not saying it? And I'm just surprised that they're actually saying it.
Yeah.
It's interesting too to see in a non-Olympic year how this all goes. And I think there's always going to be the Kona factor as long as that's split every other year. And I think a non-Olympic year we'll see how it sways next year. The women going to Kona and no Olympics. So
I honestly, I think for a while it's still going to be that divide of you'll get the stronger T100 field, whoever's not racing Kona.
Yeah,
it's the pinnacle, right?
Absolutely. Like we discussed a couple of episodes ago, we said that this would happen. That the year that whichever the men or the women are in Kona, we're going to see a weaker field than the T100. And it doesn't surprise me that athletes say that, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't believe them if they would say, "Oh, the T100 is a race that I've always wanted to win in my entire life," because it's just a fairly new thing. And Kona is the pinnacle of the sport, and like Jan said, it's a Wimbledon of the sport. Yes, you might win the Olympics, but Kona is where the magic's at, and all these other races and formats are great for the sport, and that's what's going to keep the sport growing and developing. But I don't see a world where people choose one thing over Kona. I think a lot of athletes are gonna always picking for Kona rather than another race, and this just it's very good for me to hear, and very refreshing, because yes, it's not the most highest paid sport, but the athletes are doing it for the right reasons. In my book, chasing Kona, chasing glory, chasing being there with the greats of the sport. And yes, money is good, and money keeps your fridge full, and you're able to travel and train and everything. But when it comes to history, I think down the line people are going to be talking about Kona winners rather than T100 winners. But not to say which one's better than the other, just yeah.
Well, I think the one thing, I mean, Jenna brings up a good point too, because it's going to be interesting to see how like a Sam Laidlaw shows up in Miami and treats it as a training day. And I think that's something the PTO and T100 are going to have to address. Like, is this a Kona year for you? Are you really focused on Kona? Do we want to offer you a contract? What does your contract look like for next year? And if your focus is going to be Kona, then maybe we want somebody who's going to try and win every week they show up at one of these T100 races, as opposed to some of the other ones are like, I just need to get to Kona healthy and fit. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually goes out front and tries to win one of these.
Yeah, 100%.
So we had Leon Chevalier was the most recent athlete to kind of come out and say, I feel like I'm at a point in my career where I can fully focus on basically trying to be an Ironman world champion. And I think the T100 format will really make me work on my weakness. And my big weakness at the moment is the swim, which is kind of like, okay. You're saying you're committed to this series, but it's like anything. You can only peak so many times in the season. It looks like all of his focus on Kona, and he's just kind of used these as training days, which is like, okay, that takes some of the fun out of it. But let's go in and take a look at the men's start list here. So we've got Magnus Dietlev, Jason West, Matthias Margier, Peter Heinrich, Rudy von Berg, Leon Chevalier, Sam Long, Daniel Backyard, Bradley Weiss, Sam Laidlow, Clement Mignon, Aaron Royal, David McNamee, Yuri Kulin, Minnow Koolhaas, Gregory Barnaby, Ben Knut, Rico Bogan, Alistair Brownlee, and Javier Gomez. So,
I think there were only 2 wild cards, right? So, I mean, almost the whole men's contracted field is there.
Yeah, coming out there, which is good. Oh, man, I would love to see like an old school throwback to the WTCS days, Ali Brownlee and Javier Gomez battling it at the run and stuff. That'd be so fun to see if some of the old guard can back it up at this distance, because they've both kind of moved on from the short course, but were so dominant in their day. See how they come up against the guys. Like some of these guys are 10, 15 years younger than them, like legitimately. So be interesting to see how that goes down. And I just hope we get everyone there healthy and actually racing, especially like Ali and Javier have been dealing with injuries the last couple of years. So it'll be fun to see what they can do injury free and ready to race.
No, it'll be amazing. Imagine if we see the old school Ali bullying people in the bike group. Just take a turn. That'd be amazing.
We're definitely gonna see some Ali yelling at people on the bike in there. For
and
there
goes Magnus 400 watts of it.
Right.
Zone 2.
When I saw that Jan Frodeno like airplane ticket thing, I'm like, how cool would that be to have an old school like Jan, Ali, Javier battling it out on a race course? Unfortunately, we'll never see that again. But for a second, I was hopeful we'd see that.
That would have been awesome.
Be so good. So this racing, it's just, we've been going on a bit about it, but it's going to be so fun to see where everyone's at, get a little bit of a form check, because it has been a while since we've seen everyone racing at top peak form here, and just see how things kick off at the T100 and see how it changes through the season, because it's definitely early season and a lot of these long course athletes are not used to racing at a high level so often. Like usually you can show up to like the World Championships, you'll have a big field that's super competitive, but every other race they go and know they've got a good shot of winning or being on the podium. This could be anybody's game because it is at such a high level over and over and over.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's been some really good YouTubes that some of these guys and girls have been putting out too. Like there's no slack in training. They're ready to go for March, and it's interesting to see how much that translates into early season racing. Because I mean, I've watched some of Magnus's training and Sam's training and Ash's training, and it's they're going after it. I mean, they're ready to go.
All goes down. Yeah. All goes down this weekend. I was kind of looking at how you can watch it and stuff, and there are a couple different options depending on where you are in the world, but it should be up on YouTube and it should be up on the PTO thing there. Let's see.
On the app, right?
Yeah, on their T100, the PTO app. If you're in Europe, you can watch it on Eurosport and Discovery Plus. And they will also have it on the YouTube channel T100. So lots of ways to watch, thankfully, which is nice, which means hopefully we cannot have to download another app to watch it. So just make it easy. Go on YouTube, everyone can watch it, everyone can access it. Yeah. Keep it simple. We want people to watch these things.
You're trying to build an audience.
Exactly.
do it. The other cool thing about all this too is because I know Ironman just announced their partnership with Race Ranger, which I know we're all excited about because that's going to be that was already part of the T100, right? So these guys are all going to be regulated and watch closely.
Yeah, you know what? At this point, it's more just I was chatting with Race Ranger, and they're like, at this point, it's more the athletes are able to see if they're in range or not. But I definitely want to see it get to the point where like refs can actually give penalties based on the Race Ranger data that they're getting to their devices in there. And apparently, I heard some rumors that Race Ranger can share kind of how much time specific athletes are spending within the zone, like show that athletes spending like 45 minutes 2 meters away kind of deal. So it's so good to see that Ironman is finally getting on board with it to at least make it fair by being able to say definitively to the pros, you're within the draft zone or you're not, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully that's enough of a deterrent to make sure that less are drafting, especially some crazy drafting at some of the Ironman races. But yeah, can't wait till it goes even next level where it's like, okay, the refs get pinged if someone is staying within zone. Because, sometimes they'll be like sucking wheel. You even see it on the broadcast. And then a moto comes up and they hear the moto and they back it off kind of deal. So can't wait till Race Ranger can fully unleash all of the potential it has there and make for some very fair racing, especially now that more money is involved in the sport.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great that they are backing things up. And this is just going to make a more honest and exciting race. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be amazing. Imagine in the future down the line having on the broadcast, on the screen, X athlete has been this amount of time drafting this other athlete and then see how the dynamics play. That would be just amazing. Kudos on Race Ranger. They're doing an amazing job. And just adding on what we just talked about, regarding the athletes that say Kona is their A race. Okay, yes. But, playing devil's advocate, we just saw Pogacar dominating a race this past weekend, and that was not his A race. I think some of these athletes are going to have amazing performances, regardless if these T100 events are going to be their A race. And if they do manage to win a couple of these, it would just be a very intimidating or a very scary thought to see how those athletes turn up in Kona.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have another Blummenfelt run kind of thing. Have someone who just dominates the T100 and then goes and crushes it in Kona. That'd be fun to see. But as we saw a number of times with a number of different athletes, that run of dominance is not often sustainable forever.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's jump in. We got so much more racing to talk about here. We've also got the WTCS series kicking off here over in Abu Dhabi. So season opener, we're definitely going to see again. It's just fun to see the form of where athletes are after that downtime because you never quite know. So obviously, okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt one more thing before I jump into that. The other drama with T100 is now they're partnered with ITU. They have that partnership. One of the things is there seems to be some discrepancy in the rules or the understanding of the rules, where one federation is preventing two of its athletes from racing at the moment. And we don't know which federation it was. They kind of talked about it, but not really named names on the Pro Tri News podcast in there. And one federation is preventing two of its athletes from racing the T100 in Miami, even though PTO has given them the spot. In one case, it's someone's missing a medical record, a EKG test, which fair federations have their rules in that. But the other one, it's purely discretional. So apparently one of the federations is saying, under our understanding of your rules, of the ITU rules and the PT100 partnership, you're not giving a slot to that athlete, you're giving a slot to that federation. So we get to decide who fills that spot or not. So I don't know if that has been worked out and that is one of these athletes or not. I'm really curious to see the gossip of who it actually is or what direction they want. But if that's the case, like this PTO World Triathlon collaboration could be catastrophic if they just say, we own the spot for the federation, we're going to sub in who we want or don't want.
Sounds like a Norwegian move to me, but I mean, Gustav's Christian's not willing to race. I mean,
yeah. So I don't think it's that. I don't know. I'm curious to see which federation it is, right? You know, and there's already some other things going on with having this partnership is, again, now the athletes have to have their name across the chest of their kids as one of the rules with that partnership. Which, if you know sponsorships, that's one of the most valuable sponsorship spots on the kid, like right across the chest there. So they're kind of taking money away from people that way. And then and the other thing is that there's a rule in there too, that they have to be in good standing with their federation. So if you have any disputes with your federation, even though the federation hasn't supported long distance athletes at all, if you have a dispute with the federation, that could cause you to not be able to race. So someone like Joe Skipper, he's not getting a wild card slot if that's the case, because he has some big beef with his federation, the British Triathlon Federation, and now considers him a USA triathlete and has a pro license under them. So I don't know. I think there's some unforeseen complications when the partnership started, but I hope that things are cleared up so that we don't have federations taking those slots and subbing in whoever they want or don't want, because we just want to see the best racing.
Yeah. Every time federations jump ship, we see horrible things happen. And I know they say they have the athlete's best interest in mind, and time again we see that this is not the case. They just want what's better for them. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a very tricky situation, and let's just hope the athletes involved don't take the toll on this.
Mm-hmm. Well, even there's one thing, one of the US athletes already qualified for the Olympics is on bronze level of funding from the US Federation because they didn't hit certain markers within a certain period. And it's okay, you got this guy going to the Olympics. Surely you'd want to support him. And yeah, it's just, I think sometimes they get too caught up in the bureaucracy and following the letter of the law instead of the intent behind it. So I hope it doesn't mess things up, but we've definitely seen between Super League with T100, they should stick to being the governing body and let the races do what the races do, because they have not exactly been the most successful of growing racing and exposure for triathlon in the sport, if we're honest. Anyways, okay, let's go on to their racing. Sorry, I just had to put it because I read that and I was just gobsmacked, but let's go on. Abu Dhabi. We'll start with the men this time. We've definitely got a full list. I'll just name some of the top names in here. We got Jacob Birtwistle, Matty Hauser, Yeli Geens, Tyler Mislachuk, Antonio Cerrone, Roberto Sanchez, Dorian Conix, Leo Berger, Vincent Louis is going to be back there, Alex Yee, Jonas Schomburg, Vince Bisek. See, what else do we have here? Kenji Nina. Gustav Eden will be out there, so that'll be interesting to see how he's going. Richard Murray, Hayden Wild, Kyle Smith, Yao Silva, Yao Piera, Henry Skuman, Matt McElroy, Morgan Pearson, and Seth Ryder. So that's, kind of some of the top names in there. Curious to see early season. You never quite know how these races will go down. So it'll be fun to see where everyone's form is at. What do you guys think?
I don't think Gustav's going to be there because from what I've heard, he's not even running right now. So his Achilles is he's swimming and biking a little bit. And I guess he and Christian were just up in the mountains and came down from elevation recently. He's still not back. And so the Achilles is not ready to go. So I doubt he'll be there this weekend. And we did just find out Imogen Simmons is not going to be in Miami either. So definitely some injuries. I'm actually surprised to see Lucy race in Miami too. So
I know. Yeah. Curious to see how she recovered from that Achilles
crazy calf injury.
Yeah.
I think the WTCS it's one of those ones where we all love it. It's just it's hard to get the fans support and in the crowd around it and things like that, because it is so quick and
and you have to pay to play. Like you have to pay to watch it. And so until you're into triathlon, you're not going to pay money to watch triathlon. So
True.
Watch triathlon if they pay for it. Anyway, yeah. We could go round and round on that. Let's look at the women's side. We've got a few familiar names here as well. Charlotte McShane, Emma Jackson, Natalie Van Couverden, Julie Hauser, Claire Michelle, Valerie Bartholomew, Victoria Lopez, Amelia Kretz. Let's see here. Cassandra Bogran, Emma Lombardi, Leonie Perriot, Beth Potter, Georgia Taylor Brown, Kate Wash. She had a wicked season last year. Sophie Caldwell, Lisa Turch.
A lot of Paris people.
Yeah, It's funny. You look at, basically I'm going through some like all the countries in order, and you need to say all of the French names because all of the French athletes right now are just absolutely dominating. Rachel Plummer, Ainsley Thorpe, go down to the U.S. athletes, Katie Zafiris, Kirsten Casper, Summer Rappaport, Taylor Spivey. So it's definitely going to be, again, another stacked race. A couple names we're missing, though. I haven't seen, goodness, I'm blanking on her name at the moment. Bermuda.
Laura Duffy.
Laura Duffy. I'm like, why can't I remember her name? Man, I want to see. She was so dominant for so long. I want to see her back at it.
Well, she's one of the. It's Flora and Taylor are the two hot shots, right? On the women's side, T100.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Man, and no Gwen Jorgensen either. So I don't know if that means kind of her hunt for that Olympic spot is done or not. It'd be hard to get the.
She just won a race.
She just won. She just won in Cuba.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Olympic distance, and I think the only reason she raced Cuba is to get enough points so that she can get her name on the start list in one of these races.
Yeah.
Also very interesting to see on the men's side, we saw the likes of Kyle Smith on the list. I think, mark my words, I think we're going to see the New Zealand Federation trying a domestique for Hayden, because Kyle is an incredibly good swimmer and an amazing cyclist. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see Hayden just drafting Kyle on the swim and just sitting on his wheel on the bike and then just dominating everyone on the run. So also, it's going to be exciting to see where Katie's at and where Beth Potter is at the moment. You know, definitely a very interesting time to see where everyone else's fitness is at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And, it would just make sense for them to set up a domestique role. Like, Hayden really has a shot at that win.
Yeah.
Surprised we don't see more of it, but I think, I can't wait to see these happen. I just want to get these season openers going so we can see the form check and see where everyone is and see how this season is going to start to shape up, because it's going to look a little different than the usual racing, with some athletes already having their Olympic spots. They're just going to use a few of these races to sharpen up, and then other athletes are just going to be battling it out to the last minute to try to get that Olympic spot. And I can imagine that's brutal, trying to be fit enough to peak to qualify and then having to go for the Olympics and peak for that as well. It doesn't seem to ever work out very well.
No.
Listening to Christian, he's got quite the opposite schedule as he had last year, where it's like all he's doing between now and the Olympics is like a couple sprint triathlons. So we got to keep our eyes out for what sprints he's doing, because that's going to be impressive. Sprints and a lot of like testing and altitude stuff just to the Olympics.
I'm wondering if he almost doesn't want to show up to too many of the events, just to, one, either mentally have the hurt of not being in top form, or two, he's in such good form that he doesn't want to show his hand.
No, it's true. I mean, these guys who start to ride together and get dropped in group rides and things like that, people start to talk about it. So he's just like staying off on his own.
Man, well, I am so excited for it this weekend. I'm going to be glued to, well, I'd say my TV, but really it's online with several different formats and you have to chase it all down, but be glued to a number of apps this weekend. Watch it. Let's hope I've got a big training weekend on tap to use some of that for motivation. And just remember, however much my workout sucks, they are suffering a whole lot more.
This is true.
Yeah. Before we wrap up here, we're going a little longer than usual because we're all so excited for the weekend ahead. Was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up before we call it a night?
Well, we got our one little post midweek interview with Lara Gruden too, so we'll get a little insight into how Sam Long's getting along and how their family is handling the new baby, and it looks like she's been doing a lot of her own training again. So find out whether or not she's thinking about going back into the pro world or not. But that'll be a fun.
Yeah, it'll be so good to have her on and chat all things triathlon, training, pros. Becoming a mom, that's always a massive shift. And then having a partner who's in the top of the pro ranks as well. It's going to be super interesting to hear how their family balances all of that out.
Yeah. Wow. I just wanted to add to leave you guys with a note to think about and our listeners. I mentioned Pogacar winning over the weekend, and I just wanted to share his numbers for the last 80 Ks of the ride when he attacked
solo.
So attacked solo, took the win. So listen to this. His average power was 340 watts. 360 normalized. And then
like
he
or something less than that.
Amazing, just amazing. And 460 watts for a 5-minute power. So I think this was after he attacked, he had to push this power to stay away from the guys. I mean, these numbers are terrifying for what's coming for the remainder of the season. So,
and he attacked with 80 kilometers left, 81 kilometers left.
Yeah,
and he was still gaining on the peloton with like 15, 20K left. Like that was when they started to maybe tap into it.
Yeah, just amazing.
60K all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine right now. It's absolutely insane to watch, insane to see some of those numbers. Like triathletes are good cyclists, but these top level road cyclists are just a whole different level. And we got Paris going on right now as well, a bit of a stage race happening too. And it's so good to see all the racing coming back here. And actually, I'm going to be headed over. I'm going to be doing some social media and digital content work for Cycling Canada, the National Federation. And we've got some graduation happening in Milton, Ontario in about a month going. So I'm going to be geeking out on cycling a lot over the next little while. Turns out there's more than just road cycling. People use like knobby tires and do crazy jumps and stuff and go around in circles. So I'm going to try to learn about some of those.
Some social media content for you.
Yeah. Wicked. Thanks, guys. As always, we will chat a little bit later in the week with that interview and then be back next week to geek out and break down everything that goes on this weekend. Be sure to check out all of the racing. It is going to be absolutely epic, we hope. Hopefully the coverage is good. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your predictions and anything you want to have us chat about on there too. Have a great night, guys.
Have a good one.
You too.